What's good with y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good with y'all? What's good? What's good? We tuning in for another video, man. Y'all can see we in for a treat. Another story time. I seem to like to do the story time, man, when I'm out here and sun that went down. And you know, I'm finna clean the carburetor. I got one somebody ready to buy tomorrow, so I gotta get this clean. I got a load coming in. Y'all know I like to give y'all an update on what's available before we start. And I got another vlog coming too. I gotta talk to y'all about some stuff too. But pretty much same thing available. I got somebody inquiring on this one. But if it don't sell by this week, man, I'm about 90% had my mind made up to keep this for wifey and just put it on her car and then go ahead and take hers apart and clean it. Which it ain't bad. Hers ain't. It just look dark down there. It can be cleaned with carburetor cleaner. See, they just sit. And then take hers apart and sell it. But yeah, I got a guy inquiring about it, and if he get it, then you know it is what it is. But other than that, I'm gonna keep it and put it on Mighty Emma, and then we're gonna get that thing dialed in. The next thing is, man, y'all, I was thinking about talking to wifey. I said, man, I got to turn up, man. I got to start turning up. Man, I ain't been burning no tires or nothing in a long time. So, hey, after this weekend, these going back on. I'm finna burn these babies off. I haven't had the tires on really since I got the car. I had them on for like the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. After that, I put them on and, hey, been on. But I've been intending to do ride reactions, man. Do more ride reactions for y'all, but it's so hard scheduling people right now and stuff too. It just, I don't know. So, and I'm trying to get y'all some new faces on here too, man, so we can get some new ride reactions and, you know, introduce some new faces to the channel. But I'm working behind the scene, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. But without further ado, let me get this carburetor out, the cleaner, so I can get my stuff set. Then we're going to get into the story. All right, BCG fam, we checking in. We checking in, man. I hope the sound good, but I'm going to just speak up. If it ain't, I'm going to turn it up. It's about the best view I can do. Or maybe we can shoot to the side. I don't know. You know what? That don't even matter. We're going to stay right here, Kyle. Really, it's about listening at the end of the day. This kind of my vibe now, since this is where we started. So, as y'all can see by the title, man, that's what we finna get into. So, like I said, I'm an open book, and if I can share something I went through or did in my life that can help somebody, that's what I'm about at the end of the day. So, where this story started off, it pretty much, so, you know, we used to be at my partner house, man, my buddy. And, you know, we'll hang out at his house and stuff, at his mom's house and stuff. And, you know, it's a cul-de-sac. So at the time, I actually had Big Meats, y'all. But it wasn't called Big Meats, man. The car wasn't named Big Meats. It didn't even have a big block. It had a small block 355 in it at the time. Some nitrous. I was sitting on the paintable 24 with the lift on them. Had the spinners on it. And you know, that's what I was doing at the time. That's what it was. So my partner now, mind you, and I can't remember what age I was. Let me think. I probably was 25, somewhere up in there. But mind you, we pull up to the house cause he needed to get some. So at the time he riding with me. And we pull up and we would hang out, man. You know, all of us had cars. So we'll get in the cul-de-sac and we'll just chill out, you know, play the music. We had speakers in the grill and stuff like that. And in the cul-de-sac, man, everybody was cool. Everybody was cool except this one house. So my partner was right here. His mama stayed right here. And then literally next door. I mean, you could look from here to there in their house right there. Y'all know how cul-de-sacs is. So it was a gentleman, man. And turned out the guy, he had been in jail and stuff before for what? I don't know. So I ain't looking into it, but that ain't none of my business. But when we would hang out, man, I mean, he would always give her a problem, man. Black guy. He would always give her a problem, man. Like, just mess with her. And we wouldn't mess with nobody, you know, we wouldn't mess with him or none of that. And over the course of time, man, it just constantly was something. You know, like he'll let the garage up and crack the door about this house, the ground, listening. We be out here at night, cause we'll hang out, man. I mean, it'd be 12, 1 o'clock, this and that. We just chilling. We ain't doing nothing though. You know, typical stuff you do at that age, man. We just hanging out, messing with the cars and stuff, you know, doing what we do. So this one particular day, it's in the daytime. Mind you, man, I ain't never had no words with him and stuff. But it daytime, my partner pull up, and at the time, man, my partner, he was in and out of trouble. So, you know, he had went to jail for a year and stuff, and he was out. So he was out, cool, straight in there doing his thing, like, hey, on probation. So he really, hey, I don't need to get in no trouble, being nothing. So the man was outside. Dude was outside, and he older than us, of course. I mean, he got some years on us. But he was outside. I mean, he probably 40 at the time. And he outside, standing in the yard talking. My partner walking up the hill. I'm parked down at the driveway. I'm outside of my car with Meats. I'm just leaning against Meats and just chilling, waiting for him to go in the house because he was going in and out. He walking up the hill. The man just said something to him, man, for no reason. Cause we ain't say nothing to him cause we knew what the guy was on. He said something provoking my partner, and my partner just looked at him and laughed and said, and just kept it moving. Went in the house cause he like, hey man, I ain't got time for this, man. And then for some odd reason, he looked down the hill at me and said, and you too, and called me the N-word. Y'all know I don't cuss no more, man. And he looked at me and said, and you too, N. And I'm standing on leaning against the car. I ain't saying nothing to him. So I'm like, what? I'm like, man, who you talking to? It went from there. It literally went from there, man. I went 0 to 100 immediately. Immediately, man, 0 to 100. So me and him, we back and forth. We back and forth. I'm like, I'm ready to hit. I'm ready to fight at this point. So I'm like, come to the road. I'm like, come to the street, cause you know, I got sense. You can't go on nobody's property provoking. I mean, you free game to get shot, or you free game to get the law called on. You gonna get in trouble, even if they talking junk to you. You still can't come in their yard. Like, they're trespassing. They can kill you. So I knew that. I'm like, all right. Here property line started right here. I can't go over there. So I'm like, come to the street. The street free game. Come to the concrete, the asphalt. Let's go ahead and hit. So I'm like, let's hit. We screaming at each other at this point. So my partner here, he come out the house. He like, bro, come in the house, man. He said, man, I can't have all this. I remember the words exactly. I can't have all this going on, man. So I'm like, yeah, you right. So go in the house. I go in the house and I'm hot, man. I'm hot. So I'm like, man, I'm talking. And I'm like, man, I want him. You know, I want him, man. Like, I want to put some hands on him. So then, you know, he had a screen door. You know, you got the screen door, the storm door, really what it is. But the storm, so the main door open, we can look through the glass storm door. So we see the man pull up in his car and park at my partner's driveway. He parked at the end of the driveway. And he's sitting in the car at the end of his driveway. So he rolled the window down, he looking like this. What I do, I get hot. So man, I go to the door, boom. I bust out the door. Now me and him going back and forth. What do he do? The man, it turned out the man was a felon too. He ain't supposed to have no firearm. What do he do? Flash the gun. And this ain't the first time he done this before. You know, I got a whole nother story where it was a chopper involved. It wasn't him, it was on the outside. But that's a whole nother story. I got a whole nother story where a chopper got involved in the law. They swooped there. That's a whole nother story I have to give to y'all. But this ain't the first time this man to pull something like this, basically. But it wasn't to me, the first time toward me. So he flashed a gun. I'm like, what? And then he say something and he pull off. He leave. Now I'm really hot. I'm boiling at this point. My blood boiling. So he do that. Me and my partner waiting around. So we finally he find what he was looking for. So we get ready to leave. We get ready to leave and we finna go at my cousin's house who stayed up the street probably. Not even 3 miles. Go out the subdivision, go up the street, past my grandma's house, not even 3 miles, not even 4 miles, I would say. So we walk out and, well, nah, we didn't even walk out. So a few minutes go by and we hear some people talking. Cause like I said, the house right here. So we hear some people talking. I'm hot, I'm like, oh, so he done went and got some people. That's what my mind said. He done went and got some people, so he wanna, cause it was 2 of us, so he felt I get outnumbered. So I'm saying, oh, he done went and got some people, so he wanna hit. So I go out the door. And my partner, I'm like, bro, I told him, I remember, I said, bro, you can stay in the house, I'm gonna handle this. I said, cause I know you don't need to get in trouble, but I'm finna go out here. I remember him looking at me saying, he shook his head, he said, it is what it is, man, let's go. So we went out. And man, we get out there. I look, he did have 2 people. I knew the guys. One of them was my partner, Kurt, man. We actually used to work together. All these guys older than me. Kurt worked at the same place I worked when I had my very first job. And so we already knew each other, we cool. And he looked, he said, oh, nah, man, that's Justin, man. What y'all, nah, y'all ain't finna do that. So then we got a mutual party. And I walked down the driveway to the road, and I'm like, man, let's go ahead and get it over with. That's what I was just telling him. I said, let's go ahead and get it over with. Let's go ahead and hit. So he walks, I guess he done got some courage now. He walks down to the street from his yard. I'm in my partner in. He walks to the street. So now I'm like, all right, we finna go ahead and hit. So I start walking up to him. I'm finna get ready to square up. I get from here, y'all can't see. So to put in perspective, I probably get 15 feet away from him. I get 15 feet away from him. What do he do? Pull the gun out. I pause. He had the gun down to his side. At this point, I'm like, all right, that's enough. I pulled my gun out. At the time, like I said, I ain't even have one in the head. So I pulled mine out and boom, hit it fast. You know, I was young, man. Reflex was just like, whoosh. I put one in there just as soon as I took it out of my pocket, kind of like a fluid motion. Boom, put one in the head. I had a 380 at the time. And so I'm standing out here. Now, mind you, to take y'all through what I was feeling at that moment before I continue the story. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all at the end. So here, we standing out here, I'm like this. I said, pointed it. So now I done got off the fight. I'm out the fight. I said, go ahead and point it at me. So throughout my anger, before I black out, I still conscious enough to know if I shoot this man. My first instinct was to shoot him, being real with you. First instinct was to shoot him. But for a fraction of a second, snap back to consciousness, like, okay, if I shoot this man, I'm gonna take the route still. I'm no questions asked. Cause he ain't pointing nothing at me. Got the point at you like, all right, it's a threat. They give you right, you get the right to just shoot. Now you gonna have some guys they gonna play tough and this. And, hey, somebody pull out, you better use it. You hear that saying all the time, which I fully agree. But in this case, this gentleman pulled out his down by a hip. You shoot him, it ain't gonna play out in your favor. It's just what it is, man. It's just what the law is. So we stand out here like the Wild West. Like I said, I got people that are vouch for this. We stand out here like the Wild West. Like, I'm like, hey. So I'm like, pointed at me. And you know, this guy, like I said, he 40-something, man. My reflex is on 1,000. My reflex on 1,000. I see an inch of movement. I just gonna let him have it, honestly. I'm gonna let him have it. And man, I'm like pointing. So about this time, I guess his wife looking out. Now she come out. She come outside. So you got this whole scene going out. She come outside, she crying. She crying. She like, please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Y'all just put it down. Just stop. Please don't kill him. Now the other neighbor, Aaron, my buddy Aaron, he was older too, all these. So now you got everybody in the cul-de-sac. They about out. Everybody outside watching. So she like, please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. I'm looking at this man dead in his eye. I like pointed at me. And now at this point, I done stopped. We eye to eye. You can tell what a man on by his eye. A grown man will tell you. Look in a man's eyes, you can tell what he on. For real. You get ready to fight, or if he mad, or if he sad, just look in a man's eyes, you can tell what he on. So I'm looking at this man's eye, I done got quiet, cause now I'm like, all right, bro. Now I'm like, all right, I done had enough of this. So, looking at the eye, this man, please don't kill him, please don't kill him. So now I looked at his wife and said, you better get him. I said, you better get him. Which of course I'm mad, I'm shouting. I said, you better get him. You better get him before I kill him. And she got him in the house. Kurt, they like, come on, man, come on. They got him in the house. Cam like, bro, we got to go. My buddy Cam. He like, bro, we got to go. We got to go. Cause you got neighbors out, you don't know if somebody else can call the police, this and that. We hop in the car. We take off. Boom. We go to my cousin's house. What that is? So we go to my cousin's house. We go up the street. What did that man do? Oh, there it is. Hold on, y'all. I got something going on over here. Hold on. I had a bullet, but I don't know what it was. So at this point, y'all, there you go. Boy, y'all see what this is? Fresh. Ooh. Look at that. Hold on, boy. We had y'all see that? I don't know what that was, boy. Somebody, that took a big, boy. What that was, y'all. But I tell you what, he did. But we went, so we get to my cousin's house. We poured, man. I'm balling over the top. I'm balling over the top, man. We get there and I kid you not, y'all. It probably was two. What is going on here? Type of stuff out here. It probably was 10 minutes. This man car pull up. He pull up at the top of the hill, cause it was a hill before you get to my cousin's house. He sits in the middle of the road at the top of the hill. So what he was doing, come to find out, he followed us and he was calling the police. He followed us to my cousin's house. And I'm outside, I'm like, there you go right there. So my cousin, he older than me too, man. He like, don't worry about it. He come in here, we know what time it is. So he followed us to the cousin's house, provoking, he called. We like, I know he calling the police. So cuz was like, y'all just stay right here. Of course, 15 minutes later, we heard them, you know them Crown Vics. If you heard them Crown Vic, you know what they sound like. Whoo. I said, they're them police, they're them boys. Crown Vic come in. It was a black officer, man. I can't remember his name. He was a cool cat. He was a cool cat, man. He went from around the way. He from up north somewhere. So we telling him, man, what's going on. I'm talking about, they told him I was licensed to carry too still. So we telling him, man, what's going on, the whole situation. He hid out. So this man tried to get her banged up. And whole time, like I said, the officer said, hey, well, it ain't really nothing I can do. Ain't nothing I can do to you. Cause you had legal right. If he would have pointed it at you, this man told me this out of his mouth. And like I told you, I already knew. He said you had legal right to protect yourself. If he raised his gun and pointed it at you, you had every right to do what you had to do. It would have been self-defense. Bingo. So the man just kept provoking, man. So that's how that ended. But to take y'all through, and like I said, that's the only time, man. That's the only time I had to draw down on somebody. I ain't never called. I don't believe in using a gun. That's cowardly to me. You know, I don't even believe in putting hands on nobody. To be honest with you, I don't believe in putting hands on nobody, man, unless you just absolutely gotta defend yourself. And somebody, I believe, walk away, man. That ain't no coward move, but people, you got people that die by my respect. That junk is stupid. It's stupid to me. I'm sorry, man. When I got baptized with the Holy Spirit, man, and my ego and my pride got removed from me, my whole perspective on how we walk really changed. I can see it for what it is, how we supposed to live life. I can see the word of the Lord for what it is, because I done read the Bible from front to back, and I read every day. I don't start my day until I read a chapter. And I can see it for what it is, so I'm like, I'll die by my respect. If people make stupid decisions because of that every single day, you know, they leave behind their family. They leave behind their family. They leave behind kids to fend for themselves. Everybody need a father. Everybody need a father, man. I don't care what to happen. Everybody need a father. It might not be your biological father, but they need their male figure. Women and men, they need their father figure. They need their mother that's a nurturer, but you need their father. You're going to be broken until you get something figured out. You need their father. So I'm like, man, I sat down. Cause I had a temper, man. Like, I would fight. I mean, I ain't mind fighting all that. I had a temper. But at that moment, that's the only time I had to draw down somebody. So after, you know, the smoke done cleared and the storm done settled, I find myself, now, you know, when all that done chilled, now you're going to think. So I'm like, I'm thinking about the moment. I'm replaying everything now. I'm replaying how I'm feeling. I'm like, I really wanted to shoot that man at that moment. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to do something to this man. That's how I was feeling at that moment. And, man, I'm replaying and thinking to myself how I was feeling at that moment with that gun. So after that, man, I gave the gun away. I gave it to my big brother. Cause my big brother, where he was staying at the time, my biological brother, where he was staying at the time, which he stayed over by my granddaddy, on the next street over from my granddaddy. My granddaddy stayed in the, I don't want to say projects, we'll say the hood. We'll say the hood, cause you know what the hood, ain't nothing wrong with the hood, but it just describes the type of area. So that's what it is. But the projects is more housing authority, the project. So he didn't stay in the project. The project was on over, but all of this in that same area. You know what I mean? So my brother stayed one street over from him and had somebody try to come in their back door. And I remember my big brother telling me about it, and he didn't have a gun at the time. So this actually wasn't my first gun. That was my second gun. I had to think about it. But so I gave him the gun. I said, him, bro, you need this more than me. Then sell it to him now. I said, him, you just take it because, and for a while, man, I ain't even have no gun. Cause I said, the way I felt then, I was like, man, if I have a gun, and this is where it comes with self-reflection and knowing yourself. Even when you still growing, you got to know yourself. I said, if I have a gun, man, and I get into the next situation, one of these situations gonna boil over, and then I'm gonna be done did something that ultimately I would have ended up regretting. Just no questions asked. I would did something I ended up regretting. And I thought about how I was feeling. I replayed that whole situation, like how I was feeling, man, how mad it made me, and how almost Like this close to just blacking out and just raising up and just, you know, boom, pulling the trigger, not one time, just whatever. But how bad that would have been for me. They would have changed my whole life. They would have changed my whole life. So like I said, I made that conscious decision to get rid of the gun. I didn't have the gun for a long time, man. I didn't have no gun for a long time because I'm like, at the end of the day, and it wasn't as bad as it is now. You know, a lot of the younger guys now, that the age now that we were at that time, they don't fight, man. People scared to fight. They scared to get knotted up, but live to fight another day. Cause they pride, they don't want to go on social media, this and that, public humiliation. So instead of fighting, they'd rather shoot. No matter the size, they'd rather shoot now. So it's like you can't argue with nobody, which you shouldn't try to argue with nobody anyway. But it honestly, without use of a better word, I can say it's a lot of people that are more cowards today. Cause you know, back in the times too, even before you had guns as weaponry, and you had spears and knives and swords, you had to be that's hand-to-hand combat. That's hand-to-hand combat. You can't go from a distance and just shoot a projectile. You had arrows and stuff, but for the most part, you got to get out there on the battlefield and it's hand-to-hand combat. But you ain't got a lot of that now. But I said to myself, I was like, I can't have no gun because of how that situation. I said, if I get in another situation like that, or we keep it's gonna escalate and I'm gonna do something. So I'm telling this story so somebody take something from that. If you know you're a hothead right now and you got a firearm, man, it might not be the thing. If you done got in a situation and by the grace of God, it didn't boil over to where you did something crazy. Oh, here go another one, y'all. My bad, y'all. I don't know what is in here. But if, like I said, by the grace of God, it didn't boil over, you still here, you got to think about that, man. You got to self-reflect. You got to self-reflect, man. And you know, like I said, that's the one time, only time. But now, you know, it's like I don't put myself in an environment or a situation to where you will have to probably defend yourself. I don't let a situation, for one, I don't get in confrontations. I don't get in confrontation with people, especially not now. Super peaceful, man. I don't get in confrontation with people. Child of God, man, for real, walk in the way. And I don't put my family at risk. Like we don't even go out at night. Cause the Bible say, don't nothing but thieves, robbers, and I mean, without just putting it in terms people can understand, nothing but thieves, robbers. Basically, evil goes on at night and mischief happens, which is absolutely true. So we do whatever we can do before nightfall. Sometimes you can't avoid, you know, you at the track and stuff like that, you can't avoid it. But I mean, just leisurely enjoying yourself going out. We don't try to go out and do nightlife. We done that. Done seen stuff, done been in stuff. I got so many stories, but yeah, man, that's what happened. That's honest to God truth. That's how it happened. That's what happened. And you know, it's what it is, man. And like I said, I'm gonna try to do these once a week, man. I hope somebody take something from it and, you know, see it for what it is. So let me get y'all. So they can understand, man, and learn from my situation. Learn from my situation and not make the same mistakes, man. So, cause that could have easily been a mistake, you know. Could have easily went the wrong way, man, and not turned out for the best. And you know, the thing about it is what mess up men so bad is the male ego. Like me and my little brother Cedro, we were talking last night, man. We talked about 2.5 hours, and I said something to him because we talk about some deep stuff too. We trip out, but we talk about some real stuff. And I said, you know what, bro? I said, it shouldn't be to the point where two men can't sit down and have a civil conversation, even if they done had the highest level of disagreement. Two men shouldn't be able to sit down and talk to people like a man without shouting. So they shouldn't be able to sit down and not hear each other. You can't hear each other if you're talking and your ego and pride in the way and you trying to out-talk each other. You ain't gonna hear, you're gonna miss something. Cause most of the time, the stuff be so dumb that men get in disagreements about, it's ridiculous. And I'm gonna tell you something, pride and ego is of the devil. What is the devil? Satan. Satan means adversary, man. Satan means adversary. It's not the devil. You got the devil, which has a name, Lucifer, but Satan means adversary. That's any demon can be Satan. So when you lashing out and you feeling like anger finna rise, that's not normal. That's not normal human behavior. That ain't you. And that's why I can look past people now when they mad. Somebody got mad at me. I'm like, you know what? It's all good. You calm down. Why you think when you calm down, you're gonna be okay? But why you think that you get mad, you boil over, man, you ready to black out, you ready to do whatever. When all that's over, and the demon done departed from you for that moment, why you feel that rush of emotion? And some people like, man, I shouldn't have done that. At some point, when you feel that feeling, that means it done departed, but it done caused so much trouble in your life. You might be sitting in a cell somewhere. It might be a brother sitting in a cell somewhere, and finally he had that moment. After 5 years, he done acted tough. Oh, man, hey, I'm standing on what I did, this and that. But when that year 5 rolled around something, and then it finally hit, man, if I could go back and redo that, that's when it done departed. Why you think that happens? Why you think you don't retain that anger? Why y'all think anger temporary? Ain't nobody go around. I ain't met a man yet been angry for 72 hours. Like pure anger, 72 hours, where you can't even talk to him. I ain't met a human being yet. So why you think you had that rush of emotion and then you have a calm moment, you bring it back down? You can talk to your woman, you can talk to your wife, you can talk to your child, and in that moment you can bring that anger down. Why? It ain't normal human behavior. But anywho, y'all, like I said, I got so many stories. Man. Some comedic stuff, just any story, you're gonna be able to take something from it. But we finna close shop up, man. I gotta get this thing here and clean it up. So I hope y'all enjoyed this story time, man. Comment below if you want me to keep them going. And I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all later, BCG. We out.